सिम्बॉयसिस असं नाव घेतल्यावर ज्यांचं नाव लगेच समोर येतं ते आपल्या सगळ्यांचे अतिशय आदरणीय डॉक्टर श्याम मुजुमदार. आजच्या आपल्या मुख्य वक्त्या ज्यांचं भाषण ऐकण्याकरता आपण इथे एकत्रित आहोत, डॉक्टर सोनल मानसिंग, संसद सदस्य आणि ज्येष्ठ नृत्यांगना, डॉक्टर विद्या येरवाडकर, त्याचबरोबर या विद्यापीठाच्या कुलगुरू डॉक्टर गुप्ते, भारतीय सांस्कृतिक संबंध परिषद म्हणजे इंडियन काउन्सिल फॉर कल्चरल रिलेशन्सचे महानिदेशक ॲम्बॅसेडर कुमार तुहीन, उपस्थितांमधले अनेक मान्यवर, डॉक्टर करमाळकर, डॉक्टर मुकुंद तापकीर, शमाताई भाटे मला दिसत आहेत, बाकी बरेच जण मान्यवर पुणेकर इथे आहेत. सगळ्यांचं मी सुरुवातीलाच हार्दिक स्वागत करतो. तसा हा कार्यक्रम एक इंटरनॅशनल ओरेशनचा आहे आणि त्यामुळे मी मुख्य भाषण इंग्रजीतून करीन, कारण हे आंतरराष्ट्रीय स्तरावर फेसबुक लाईव्हच्या माध्यमातून जगात सगळीकडे पोचतं आहे. परंतु जसं पंतप्रधान नरेंद्र मोदी सांगतात त्याप्रमाणे आपण फ्रॉम लोकल टू ग्लोबल जायला पाहिजे आणि त्यामुळे पुण्यामध्ये भाषणाची सुरुवात ही नक्कीच मराठीतून व्हायला हवी. त्यामुळे मी सुरुवातीलाच आपल्याशी मराठीतून संवाद साधला आहे. आपलं सगळ्यांचं मी या कार्यक्रमात हार्दिक स्वागत करतो. सुरुवातीलाच सिम्बॉयसिसला खूप मनापासून धन्यवाद देतो आणि डॉक्टर सोनल मानसिंग या ठिकाणी आल्या आणि आमच्या निमंत्रणाला त्यांनी मान दिला, त्याबद्दल त्यांचेही आभार मानतो. सोनल मानसिंग यांचा परिचय, या व्याख्यानाची पार्श्वभूमी आणि विषयाच्या संबंधात थोडं असे काही मुद्दे मांडून मी माझं बोलणं पूर्ण करीन. ॲज वी नो, डॉक्टर सोनल मानसिंग is the iconic cultural personality of India and a member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha. I had the privilege of working with her in the Rajya Sabha for almost 4 years. Dr. Mansingh has been she has been a unique among the dancers who has mastered multiple Indian classical dance forms from different parts of India like Bharatanatyam, Odissi and Chhau. She is a great scholar and seasoned art administrator who has performed, given lectures and conducted workshops in 90 countries around the world. As the founder-president of More importantly, she is the founder-president of Center for Indian Classical Dances, and this was established in 1977. She has trained, in her capacity, several talented performers who are carrying the message of Indian culture all over the world. She is the recipient of the high civilian honors of Padma Bhushan in 1992 and Padma Vibhushan in 2003 from the President of India. A much and adequately and rightly decorated personality, she has been honored with Sangeet Natak Academy Ratna, Fellow of Sangeet Natak Academy, and she is also nominated as one of the Navaratnas for Swachh Bharat mission by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. She has served as chairperson of the National Sangeet Natak Academy and serving second term as trustee of the Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts. Coming to the oration, let me tell you that it was in 2018 that we instituted this oration in the memory of Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay, a philosopher, politician, and a thought giver for generations together. And Deendayal Upadhyay always used to say that the civilizational journey is from the past through the present to the future. But then we have to be conscious about this and to involve people in a way to make them participate, make them understand various facets of Indian culture. Because as I say, if you take out culture from the idea of India, precious little remains. And therefore India is synonymous with culture. But we ourselves need to know about the cultural traditions we have, the treasure, what we call as soft power, सौम्य संपदा मराठीमध्ये. So all the facets of this soft power, first of all, requires to be recognized, understood by we all. Then only perhaps we can loudly and clearly tell the entire global community as to what are the facets of India's soft power. See, soft power is not just about dance and music. It is also about our philosophy, our worldview. And therefore, in 2018, we decided to institute this oration to celebrate in our own way the World Culture Day, which happens to be today. The first oration was delivered by late Srimati Sushma Swaraj, and she spoke on soft power diplomacy, strength of India. The second lecture in 2019 was delivered by former Supreme Court Chief Justice, Justice Ramesh Chandra Lahoti, a Sanskrit scholar, and he spoke on Sanskrit, an instrument of the promotion of India's soft power. Third and fourth lectures, due to COVID-19, we had to conduct in a webinar format. But the third lecture, third oration, came from an Italy-based Ayurveda Acharya, Dr. Antonio Morandi, who spoke on Ayurveda and its relevance in the time of COVID. The fourth oration, 2021, was delivered by a very renowned food scientist kind of, Dr. Colleen Taylor Sane. She is in Chicago and she has written a number of books. One of them is Feast and Fast, about Indian culinary and cuisine traditions. And she spoke on insights into India's culinary traditions. The fifth oration last year was delivered by Srimati Jaya Jetli on craft traditions as India's soft power. And today we have amongst us Dr. Sonal Mansingh to speak on Indian dance traditions as soft power. Dr. Mansingh is going to tell us about how dance traditions form a significant part of our soft power, so I need not dwell elaborately on that. But simply to tell you, Indian classical dance represents the longest unbroken dance tradition going back to more than 2 millennia. By contrast, the Bugaku of Japan boasts an antiquity of some 1200 years. Chinese classical dance is said to be older than that of Japan, in that it derives partly from wushu or martial arts, but suffered a significant break during the Cultural Revolution. The Korean dance as well fell victim to cultural suppression. Western ballet is of relatively recent origin. It goes back to 16th century, just about 400 years, but matured much later. And let me tell you that nowhere was classical dance codified as early to such a systematic extent as we have in India. While other cultures, Asian, Middle Eastern, African, and Western, also celebrated life through drama, dance, and music, codification of these performing arts into treatise did not occur. The earliest work on Western dances is some 1589 CE, whereas the Natya Shastra, on the other hand, predates the Christian era, as we all know. In the Western tradition, friends, the dance bears the stamp of choreographer. Indian dance teachers, far from creating their own style, seek to preserve the existing forms and hand them over without any adulteration to the new generation. And that is the important contribution of Indian masters of our dance traditions. The philosophical underpinnings of Western and Eastern dance forms are different. In the West, they primarily constitute a source of entertainment. However, moving and emotionally uplifting they might be. As against this, Indian dance, on the other hand, is regarded as a pathway to spirituality. That makes our traditions stand apart. And in order to keep the authenticity of our dance traditions intact, I am happy to mention over here that the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, under the guidance of Dr. Mansingh and several others, has decided to explore the possibility of adopting a role of an accrediting agency. Because today many from India and abroad also are trying to teach Indian dance traditions online and offline to many. And there are several thousands of takers. But they don't know whether whatever the teacher is telling is authentic or not. Because chances are that these traditions get adulterated because of several pressures or because of trying to be a little more market friendly than required. So to ensure that this doesn't happen and the purity and authenticity remains intact, we are seriously considering whether we can adopt that rule. I am sure in several such initiatives we would be continuing to get the guidance and support from people like Dr. Sonal Mansingh. I am really happy for this association with Symbiosis. In fact, ICCR has been working with Symbiosis for several years together, and today one more event is happening here with the support of Symbiosis, Dr. Muzumdar and Vidyatai and all others. Once again, I extend a very warm welcome to you all and wish you a very happy Culture Day. Thank you.